Man, I'm back with another video. This is Trigger Reactions. Hope you guys are doing great today. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you're not sure, go check out some of my other videos, man. I'm sure you'll be a part of the family shortly. Yeah, guys, we're back with another Jesse Lee Peterson video, and he's interviewing a socialist by the name of VAUSH. And he had a few things to say in the interview. We're going to watch parts of it, pieces of it. These are the highlights of that interview. I may have to make a part 2 because these highlights are pretty long, and I'm interested in seeing what this guy VAUSH has to say. I'm interested. I want to hear, his perspective and opinions, and we're going to give our thoughts on it. So let's get right into the video, guys.
I want to ask you about this video. You made a video that destroys.
Right, yeah, it destroys. Yeah, you know how the YouTube game goes.
Destroys black conservatives.
Yeah, I love that video. We got real mad.
Explain that to me.
Yeah, so I believe in. Have you ever read Karl Marx?
No.
I believe in something called class interest. I think that society and democracy work best when we're repping our own interests. So you're a man, I'm a man, we want to fight for men, I'm white, you're black, we want to fight for black and white. Well, we want to fight for our own interests. I think
I fight for what is right.
Do you think it's right for black people to be equal?
Right.
Do you think it's right for black and white people to be equal in an ideal society?
I don't know, you guys, when you say equal.
Same legal rights.
You cannot make a person equal. Only God can do that. And he did that when he created us all, and that he created us in his image. And no human being can make you equal to anybody or anything else.
Fair, not on an individual level. Do you think that black and white people should have equal legal rights, equal access to education, healthcare, that sort of thing?
We have that.
Oh, well then I'm glad we agree. That's the right thing, huh? There are a lot of black conservatives who I think don't vote in their class interests. For example, being a fan of Trump, I don't know about that one. That seems like some propaganda.
So you think that blacks who support the Great White Hope should not support him for what reason?
I think that a lot of them are mistaken, yeah. I don't think they meaningfully represent his interests.
Whose interests?
Their interests as black people.
And what are their interests that they should not vote for the Great White Hope?
Well, right now in America, the average wealth of a black person is somewhere in the ballpark of 1/10 the average wealth of a white person.
And why is that?
Probably redlining generational inequality, the fact that they were second-class citizens up until the 1960s, a wide variety of factors.
Would that be the case if black people got married, worked for themselves, took over their own lives, raised their children, invest their monies, and did the same thing that white people are doing? Would they still be whatever?
Probably wouldn't hurt.
So why not encourage them to do it the way the white people are doing it?
They do.
Rather than giving them something free like that or telling them that they're victims.
They just face a lot of...
What Jesse's saying, and what a lot of, not just this guy, but a lot of even black people, I used to think like that. I used to think, the government, white people. I used to think like that. I mean, I came from that victim mindset mentality culture. I came from it. We blamed the white man, and we didn't hold ourselves accountable. Until I got older, got married, started having children, nobody could stop or dictate. It's what I got up to do every single day, and my wife, and what we had to do every single day. Was it easy? No. It's not easy. Yeah, sure, there are certain things that make it difficult for me because of certain areas or just based off of my look, but that's a very small factor. That doesn't stop or dictate the choices and the decisions I've made, my wife's made, and what we do on a day-to-day to be or put our family in the best positions. That's solely up to us. Solely. And when people realize that and understand that life is based off choices and decisions, accountability, and being responsible. That's in a nutshell when it comes to where you are in your life, why things happen the way they happen in your life. A lot of it has to do with you. 98% of it. The other 2% is God teaching you a lesson because you're not listening and you're being bullheaded and ignorance and a bunch of other things. But it's usually you. It's not someone holding you back or anything. Yes, there are prejudices and certain systems that favor a certain class and race. Of course, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm saying those things exist, but those things don't affect, especially in 2023, especially today's time. It's more easier to put your family in positions and just make better choices. At the end of the day, it's about the choices you make and holding yourself accountable. That's it. It's always been about that. That's why the slaves were in better positions than a lot of black people today. Because even under the oppression and the bound within that, they were able to leave, go through that, and build communities, families, businesses, and just be affluent. Then, so the excuse now is more mental mindset. What's happening? So when people like this guy or even other black people, trust me, man, I get called all types of names from, black people, my people. My people is all good people, upstanding, righteous people. But just for this video, yeah, I get called all types of names. Oh man, it's okay though. I get called those things on the internet. In real life, man, I got black people who really care for me. I got white people who really care for me and respect me because of my character and who I am. On the internet, man, it's wild, it's crazy, but it's all good, man. It don't bother me. The comments, I promise you, you can say whatever. I prefer you to not hate and say crazy things, but people do it anyways. But anyways, y'all, let's get back into the video.
Them to right, and white people are doing it a certain way, working, getting married, raising their children, seeing to it that they get a good education. If that worked for white people, why not recommend that for black people?
Because white people had the benefit.
Instead of lie about racism and slavery and all that crap.
Do you think slavery was a lie?
It's not affecting black people at all today. It's a made-up lie that is keeping blacks back.
It really isn't. It actually, for me, makes me look at it and say, wow, those people, man, that before me, those people were, man, inspirational. If anything, like Charleston White said it all the time, and I understand it. He was like, man, those people were different than the black people of today or African Americans of today. They different. Them people was, man, the strongest ever. The strongest. Them people was favored by God. In those circumstances, they showed us what God can do in the in the spirit of a man that knows he can endure. Philippians 4:13. Yeah, let's get into it. I'm putting on my preacher hat today. But nah, man, those people they weren't like we not even close to them people, man. We not even close. Man, yeah.
Sure, white folk have done a lot to advance their material interests in this country, but they did it while the system was in favor of them. White and black folks smoke marijuana about the same rate. Black folk get locked up 4 times as much for it. Stuff like that adds up.
You know why that is?
I'm ready to hear.
Black can afford private lawyers. They need the government to give them a lawyer. And the lawyer that comes from the government.
Jesse, man, speaking facts. I learned that when I had court issues, but mine was for again uh, traffic violation. I was broke. I was a brokey back then when I was 19, getting all these traffic tickets and not paying them. I was just in a different space, but I realized that it was my appointed lawyer who, because let's be clear, all that is a business. Your tickets, you being in jail, it's a business. It's a business at the end of the day. So if you handle business correctly, like certain things, like even what he's talking about right now, if you had a lawyer that worked for you and not a court appointed lawyer, a lot of those cases you would have beaten easily. Man, I seen guys come in court who I'm in on traffic tickets. This dude got found with a gun, unregistered, and like a pound of marijuana and all types of charges. He had a lawyer though. He was clearly a guy that sold drugs, and the judge knew it. Everybody knew it in the courtroom, but because of his lawyer, it got reduced and some of it thrown out. That's the game. That's the business. That's the truth. If you have the right lawyer, man, you can get away. You can beat a lot of cases. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. So, yeah, a lot of that is just, you know, parts of the game and the system that's in play. But again, it can be. You just gotta know how to play that game. And nowadays, it's like, man, they got services where you can pay like monthly for a lawyer. Like just monthly, pay like $100 or whatever the number is. I don't know. And you can have a lawyer that'll cover any. He'll speak on your behalf. He'll every month. So there's no excuse now. But back then, people didn't know that. Back then, people didn't know. So it's just all about the know and putting yourself in position.
It's overloaded. He crowded with all the other black cases, so they're not going to get the same representation. But if they took control of their lives and made their own money and earned their own way, they can afford a lawyer just like you.
Well, what if
Is
we
that
started?
right or not?
Well, what if we
Is
started?
that right or not?
No.
So if black people work, save their money, earn their way, they could not afford a good lawyer.
Well, you could say all of this.
Are you saying they could not afford a good?
But let's be clear. I feel like certain. It's just like a retired veteran who came here, and I do think that there should be some assistance and some type of leeway for those, because certain people just need support and help. I'm not the guy to say, like certain cases, people are just they do need help and a little leniency and compassion, you know. But for the most part, nah. If you able and capable, you gotta get it, and that's just for anybody. Like you wouldn't make a elderly person or a disabled person or even a mentally ill, sick person. Uh, you know, you wouldn't put them under the same thumb or rule when it comes to being a victim or just certain capabilities. You know what I mean? But for the most part, most people who capable and able, man, you just got to make better choices. You got to take control of your situation and, deal with it. Don't blame others, man. That doesn't do anything for you or your situation.
Good lawyer.
If they worked their way real hard.
If they did exactly what white people are doing.
If they did exactly what white people did.
Work hard, save their money.
Some individuals.
Would they be able to afford a good lawyer? Yes
some
or no?
Individuals, yes. Most of them, no. Most of them, no.
Why not? If most of them worked, saved their money, raised their children, invested their money, and did the right thing, why wouldn't they be able to afford a lawyer?
Improving your life as a group of people is a stats game.
But even past that, you won't even have to see a day in court or jail if you just make great choices. There's rare situations, like I tell people all the time, when with this whole police issue and the relationship between cops and black people has been turned into Like I've gotten pulled over a bunch of times by black and white cops. No real issues. I've had an issue when I was arrested for traffic stuff. I was driving with a suspended license. I told this story before. And when I got to the jail, I got a little aggressive and upset with an officer. So he had to like kind of physically whatever. But other than that situation, like I created that. I did that. I got there angry and upset. And I had every right to be. But again, I put myself in that situation. You get what I'm saying? But for the most part, man, I am for the blue. I back those guys. I know how hard that job is. But my point is, if you make better choices, you don't even have to see jail. Man, I know so many people who've never been arrested for anything. Like, for instance, my wife never been even in a court other than like jury duty. Never. She don't know what that is. Never. You know why? Because she take care of her business. She's responsible and she makes good decisions. That can happen for you, regardless of your race and your political party. It's like, come on, man. Like when people do that, yeah, y'all. I think y'all get what I'm saying over here, man. It's like, come on, man. People gotta be held accountable. At the end of the day, man, if you out here breaking law, what you think gonna happen? If you out here making bad choices, what do you think is going to happen? Like people be, oh God, like no, God tell you, come on, don't be ignorant, don't be, come on, man. We can't be doing crazy things and expecting different. That's insanity. That's crazy. Like, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Cut it out. Cut it out. Like people, like this guy here, VAUSH. It's like, dude, stop it. I see what he doing, but stop it. It's funny. But you guys, let me know what you guys think, man. Leave it down in the comments down below, man. I'll leave the original video down below as well. Go check it out, man. Tell me what you guys think. You guys already know what Jesse does. He really, if you watch the whole video, you'll see, how he made this guy look silly. But it's all good. No harm, no foul, Mr. VAUSH. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Hopefully, you come to the truth as well, and we all can just get a better understanding on what needs to be done for us Americans. I love you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget that thumbs up button down below. And also don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I love you guys. See you guys in the next video. This is your boy Ron. This is Trigger Reactions. Peace.